had some technical difficulties. These things happen. So let's jump straight into things. Let's introduce my players here. Start at the right here. We have Neocree,
Hello.
and we have Dr. Oculari. Also happy to be here. Cassie Mouse,
Hello.
and Steve. Excellent. I'm going to go right into the opening video, and then we'll get to things. I think last time we left, we just basically need to do downtime for this last session, from this last cycle, and then we'll jump into things. So hold tight. Cool. All right, we're back. So let's get to it, peeps. Let's see. So downtime actions. We did like XP and all that good stuff last session. So good. We're getting close to doing a cycle per session. So that's good. So let's do downtime. Anybody have an action in mind they want to start with?
I know I wanted to do some more attunement training. We had some good encounters with some spirits.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd like to have a little bit more of that.
Go for it, man.
For him, it would be mainly studying books because he's been really, hitting that occult book hard.
Absolutely. Nothing like on-the-job training, too.
That's a pretty easy one, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, okay, mark
the extra dot for it for our cult background. That's
perfect.
Helpful.
All right, awesome. So you're training resolve, basically.
Yes, I am training resolve.
Gotcha. Perfect. All right. Let's go. Junker, you're next.
Well, the first one I'm going to do again is just to reduce my stress by indulging the vice.
Oh, nice.
So she's going to go back to the casino again and enjoy herself.
Nice. Cool. All right. Go ahead and indulge your vice. Nice. 5. So you cleared all your stress and didn't overindulge.
Yes.
Impressive.
I was looking at the percentages. I think if you have 5 stress, you have a 17% chance to overindulge.
Don't tell me the odds, Cassie. All right. How about Fish? What's your first action?
Okay, I think I'm gonna do training for finesse under prowess.
Okay, so you're basically you put a tick in prowess.
Okay. Oh, I don't have to spend any rolling dice for this.
Nope, it's just training.
Okay.
So excellent, perfect. All right, let's go. Adrian Cross.
For the first one, I will also indulge my vice.
Nice. Cool. And let's see, what is your vice? It's been a while. The weird. What is your vice? Have we indulged your vice before?
No, this will be the first indulgence.
And what is so? Let's do a quick 25 words or less. What the heck is weird about it?
All right. I'm using alchemical reagents to essentially go on a vision quest to try and learn more about myself and about the goddess, seek
Okay.
a deeper connection.
Yeah, wanting to learn about yourself is weird. I agree. So definitely indulge that vice.
No bonus dice.
Let's see. Have stress. Let's see. Oh yeah, with the 0. Oh, your lowest is 0. I see. Gotcha. So it looks like you cleared 2 stress.
3 equal to the highest die result. I have 2 in all my my attributes.
Oh, gotcha. All right. Okay, so cleared
So
3.
my weakest, I have no weakest attribute,
Fair enough.
so I get to get 2.
Cool. All right, so clear the 2 or 3 rather. Excuse me. Sorry. Excellent.
Oh,
All right.
there you go.
Perfect. All right. Let's go back to Peacock. What's your second?
He's also going to attempt to clear stress. For him, that is finding some nice fancy clothes to wear to kind of remind himself that he used to be nobility and a cloth merchant. And he goes to a place called Dunridge and Sons that's I believe up in Night Market.
Cool. Go for it.
And after our successful foray out, he's feeling a little bit full of himself.
As he should.
However, he has 4 stress, so this could go fun. Let's see. I assume I clicked on, what do I indulge vice? There it is. And he clears 4 stress.
You guys are just nailing it this time.
He is feeling exactly like he should.
Echoes of our roles from last game.
Yeah, I don't even
I
start
think he commissions someone to do some needlework on one of them. That's just a little bunch of little symbols of our goddess like on around like the trim of the hem of the shirt.
Right. Gotcha. Very cool. All right, Junker. What's your second? I'll remind you, I believe, you have a shock gloves research going for a long-term project. If you want to try to finish that.
I put 2 points into it because of the analyst trait, and I'll roll again study plus my friend Veldrin.
The Psychonaut, nice.
Yes.
Perfect. Perfect, thank you. All right, got a 3. 1 segment, unless you want to spend some coin to up it.
Let's see. I'm just going to get another downtime action and do it again.
Sure. Go for it. No pressure.
Oh, that is just the worst.
So close. You can spend 1 more coin.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and spend. So it's done now.
All right. Cool. All right, you have your plans for shock gloves. Complete. All done. Ooh. Done. Invent shock gloves. You are an inventor. Congratulations. Cool. Good job.
What are the shock gloves
Winrar
do?
is you.
So yeah, the shock gloves are like a close quarters stun weapon, basically, if I recall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Is it kind of like the Vulcan, not death grip, but tap somebody on the shoulder and they're shocked.
Yeah, add some
stunned.
Yeah, that plus like that, but massive volts of electricity flowing through them.
A little electroplasm does about good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, truly.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. So you've created the plans, you've invented it, but now the next session you'll make it theoretically. You'll craft.
Theoretically.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Let's go to Doctor.
Okay.
What's your second action?
You'll probably have to tell me if this is realistic or whatever. Fish is an orphan. Fish, and I forget what they're called. They're one of the not factions, but one of the regions that people could come from is this one where the people from there tend to have exotic appearances.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We would have that. Let's see how that are the
Tekarosi.
Akarosi. I believe that is correct. Yes.
Okay.
By exotic, you mean demon.
Yeah, demon. Yes.
Oh, they're demons?
Demon blooded.
Oh, demon
Just a
blooded.
little bit of that, and
Okay. Is there a test for demon blood?
No.
Okay.
I would
So
think
here's
that.
the thing.
I mean, I'm sure some
Uh,
vampire could tell you.
Fish appears to be a human, probably is, but because fish is an orphan, they've always, and because they have this ability to, well, a certain affinity for being underwater, can hold his breath for a long time. Has anybody here ever seen Luc Besson's movie The Big Blue?
Is that the one with
No.
the power diver, the dude who stays underwater for 20 minutes and stuff like that?
Yes. Well, not 20 minutes, but yeah, but yeah, in a lot of ways, I think this ability that fish has is something I've kind of pulled from a recollection of seeing that movie years ago.
Okay. So
Anyway,
yes.
so fish, whether it's true or not, fish probably and partly wanting to romanticize an unknown past, thinks that they're at least partly, one of these demon folk.
Tekarosi.
Yeah.
I
And wants to try and find out.
Okay. So a long-term project, research genealogy, basically, or find test for.
Well, that's researching genealogy is something I sort of above and beyond the scholarly world. It's not it refers to a scholarly world that fish isn't part of. It seems to me that the first step would be, I'm assuming then that fish started out in the Strathmill house, home for
Workhouse.
orphans,
Gotcha.
Crowsfoot. And at least while they were there, they might have started trying to ask questions even then. And either the answers are there and no one told them, or they're somewhere else. It seems to me that the two interesting story-wise ways to go is to return to Strathmore House, try and find something out. And also, this is where I think picking this Petra, a city clerk, as the sort of negative shady friend,
Mm-hmm.
it's like Petra may, as a city clerk, may be able to find some of these answers, but how do I get Petra to do that?
Gotcha.
That's
Let's see.
sort of where I'm at, trying
Okay.
to figure this out.
All right. So basically, regardless, it's a long-term project you're trying to
Yeah.
work on. Okay, that works.
Okay.
Let's pop up the clock in there for you. This is a good one. I'm gonna make it a 6 o'clock and
Okay.
research past.
Specifically, parental past.
That's good enough for this clock. We're good. All right. So yeah, go ahead and let's see. How you sounds like you're swaying people. You tell me exactly how you're going about this one. That's what we'll roll for.
Let's see. Who do I go to first? I guess I sort of understand that I don't want to get too carried away with making this a side plot. I mean, there's all sorts of intrigue that that I want to start imagining that goes along with this,
Mhm.
but I don't think I should get involved in it too much. It's like the first thing I think would be to go back to the orphanage to try and get a look at the records that they have.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Okay, so just
and
basically the
I
question
think
is, how do you do that? Let's go with that. Let's
yeah,
just
yeah.
let's focus on that. Go back to the orphanage, get records. So, in what way are you going to do that? Are you going to like
Uh,
sneak in there and look over the records? Are you going to
I'm
intimidate
thinking
somebody?
that this is sneaking because when Fish was a child in the orphanage, Fish tried to ask these questions and got stonewalled. At least that's what they think.
Hmm.
And so I think when Fish goes back to the orphanage, they're going to want to try and sneak in and
Okay,
find the records that may or may not be there.
okay, so we can call that prowl.
Okay.
So, once you roll prowl as a fortune roll, basically. How do you guys do that again? What's when you click on prowl? What do you do? I haven't done that myself.
Well,
For
I think
fortune. Yeah, you can just set it for fortune roll when you click on prowl.
Okay, so yeah, do that. So, click on
Okay.
prowl, set it to fortune,
Oh, okay.
and roll it.
Submit.
Submit.
Effect standard.
Yeah, well, it's fortune, so that shouldn't matter to this at all.
Okay.
If you set the fortune option.
Okay, and there's no bonus die, right?
Not for this. You're not able to use any of your contacts really for this.
Okay, so I'll submit.
All right, 6. Let's see here. I believe that
Six
is 3
sixes.
segments. Oh, 2 6s. Oh, that's a critical. So 5 segments already in your clock.
That seems to be going too fast.
Well, you
No,
did
that's
really
what
well.
happens when you get a critical.
That's what happens when you get a critical. You did really well.
I mean,
Okay.
apparently there was something in the books you stole.
Yeah, somebody really was trying to hide information.
Cool.
Probably crucial information. They wasn't just somebody being, nasty to a child. This was somebody who thought there was significant information here that shouldn't be known.
Okay. So you can spend a coin to basically complete this, or you can just wait till next time, or however you like.
I think I'll wait till next time. I want to leave a little intrigue.
Sure. As a note, you do already have 4 coins, so you may want to consider putting some into your stash because you can't hold any more at this point. This is a note.
Okay. All right. How do I do that?
Basically, unselect coin from your coin, and then select it from the furthermost stash. So
just one of the stash boxes.
Just like so. Good job.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
All right, cool. All right, that is downtime. Yay! Woohoo!
There's something I wanted to say right quick. Is I think I made a mistake on building inventing stuff.
Okay.
Because I have my artificer thing. I get +1 result level. So if I roll a 3, I should get 2 segments because I get +1 result level.
Sure. Okay. Then why don't you take back one of your coin at least? That sounds like it would do the trick there. Or is it 2 coin that you would technically be owed?
Just 1 is fine.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Just remember that for next time. I haven't memorized all your sheets.
Yeah, I just had to remember it myself.
You're doing fine. Cool. Well, that's awesome. Makes the life a little easier for you too.
I have a question now to continue this side story. Is it okay if during the week, if I create some idea of what Fish found out that filled up most of that dial, and essentially make up a story to go along with that dial?
Sure. Sounds
Okay.
reasonable. I mean, generally, that would be my job. But this is totally, you're taking total ownership of this, so I'm totally cool with
Okay.
what you found.
All right.
And I'll let you decide when it comes as to what they find. How about that?
Okay.
Or do we want to
Sure,
fortune
sounds
roll
good.
it? 1 to 3, no. 4 to 6, your accuracy. So something to think about. We'll
Okay. Okay. Cool.
we'll chat that through in Discord, just so we can
Yeah.
move it along, as it were.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So when last we left our Intrepid Adventures, they had
I
brave.
still have another. I've only did one action.
Oh, you did? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead then. Sorry about that.
For my second action, I will continue my interrogation of the Bravos.
Gotcha. Cool. Let's
Commanding him.
take a look. Nice. All right.
Tell me.
Go for it.
Standard, I guess.
It's again. This is all fortune type stuff at this moment. So let's see. 3. So I'll mark another segment. Unless you want to spend another coin to take it further.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. All right. Cool. So you're getting there. Slow but sure. I do like that function of this sheet where you can actually just paste everything straight to chat. That's awful nice. Cool. All right. So let's see here. All right. So yes. Sorry about that. Almost skipping you. Pardon me. So yes, when last we left our intrepid, horrible scoundrels, you just survived the outside the electrical fields, the lightning field, and discovered a second artifact of Shinas. And as the adepts, kind of toggle around with it, it does say that it does seem to join, like some kind of 3-dimensional puzzle that's totally not yet complete yet. As a no,
We are so close.
we are so close. You're X parts away from 10 sessions and completing this. Totally.
Do we have any sense of the sort of nature of what this puzzle? Because you were talking about. I'm sorry. What was the term? I forget the term you were using last week that made it sound as though this was a sculpted head.
A bust, I believe. It was like
bust, yeah.
seemed to be part of like a bust.
Like an actual bust with a head, a face.
Well, a
all
bust,
that.
torso,
or
or
is there something
these.
more?
Bust
more
meaning like just torso-ish.
Oh. I'm gonna have to check on what bust means.
For purposes of my meeting, it's basically the torso, a torso-ish
Oh,
looking
so
thing.
there is no head, no arms.
And maybe it's not even a statuette, for all you know, at this point. But
Okay.
bust.
I'm just wondering
looking.
how abstract the shape is.
Very.
Okay.
We're gonna call it very.
So it might have a torso quality, but it also could represent some sort of abstract conception of mystical forces or something.
Sure. That's quite reasonable.
All right.
Cool. All right. So yeah, the adepts will probably fumble around with that. You do notice that it's almost like there's like a magnetic quality between the two. They kind of, you put them, within inches of each other, and they kind of pull towards each other, and that kind of thing. So there is definitely a tidal feel to this. So that's definitely something. Yeah, so I know last session we were talking about scores, and we had a couple choices, and you guys went with the other one, but the Gondoliers score was definitely looking very interesting to you guys for a number of reasons. So my understanding is you guys want to pursue that.
They've harassed us twice. Let's not let them harass us ever again.
Well, and plus they've been harassing believers,
right?
Elsewise,
that's what I meant. Us being, the cult.
Sure. And they've messed with fish potentially before, also, and that kind of good stuff. So yes. And I think we said that was happening in Crowsfoot. Sounds.
Yeah, I thought you said crow's foot.
Yeah, that
I
sounds
believe
right.
so.
Yeah. Yeah, there's basically a small sect of believers. Again, when I say believers, these are more your standard devout worshippers as opposed to you guys, which are agents of the goddess. So again, there's levels of this whole cult organization, and you're above them. You're not only devout believers, quote unquote, you're also the doers.
Mm. Yes.
Yes. So, to kind of, again, we kind of started late, so I'm going to try to jump us into things. Um, did we want to do any like find information roles on this type of thing? You have a basic idea of what's going on and where things are
Can you
at.
give us a summary of what the job is exactly again?
Yeah, so you guys were basically in letting you were told basically that the Gondoliers are harassing some devotees of Shinas, and basically part of your job is to defend them. In this case, is a potential score. So basically, stop this harassment.
All right.
I mean, I think personally, Peacock would want to spend some time with these believers to find out, why they're being harassed and, you know, who the, who the main, players are and such.
Sure, sure.
Because
How would
this could have been, when they started taking over someone's turf, or when they were, using a facility they shouldn't use, or spotted someone, any number of things.
sure? Do you want to
It-
group with anyone basically to do this, or what are your thoughts?
Yeah, does anyone want to come talk with?
Yeah, I'll assist
Okay.
with.
Okay.
I'd say
And I think I was going to be consorting with them.
Cool. Sounds good.
I'll assist with survey. Give him I give him like a reads of like how is this person reacting to his questions, things like that. So I
Yeah,
can get a
what
read
do
on
they
the
seem
situation.
nervous about, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
sounds reasonable.
Okay.
So yeah, that as background, you would at least know basically where these people are, and they're like on like the southern edge of Crowsfoot. So the Gondoliers, being Gondoliers, they interact a lot on South Shore, or I'm sorry, Silk Shore, where there are so many aqueducts and canals, etc. So
Yeah,
there's a
there's
lot of
docks on the north side of Silk Shore.
exactly, and there's a lot of visitors, basically going between the two.
Okay.
Taking the canals from Silk Shore to Crowsfoot, or wherever, the docks, Charter Hall, etc.
Okay.
Cool. So yeah,
Is this considered a fortune roll, or is there a risk in this?
there will be a risk.
Okay. So what
let's see.
position would you say?
This is, I mean, you guys have done a good job of picking your fights here with these roles. So you're looking at more of this is a control. These are your people. So basically controlled, and I'll say standard, or they only know so much. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. Given the nature of this, again, there is no risk. There's nothing that can really go wrong here. So in this case, yeah, it should be a fortune roll. I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
So use
Well,
however many sway dice for a fortune roll.
Yeah, so I'm using consort, actually.
Yeah. The idea behind this, rules wise, mechanics wise, is there's really no obstacle to you getting the information out of them. It's all about how much they know, which is chance.
Okay. And I'm taking the bonus dice from Breaker.
Excellent. Nice. 5. So what are you specifically looking to figure out here? What's the cause of this sudden interaction?
Yeah, what precipitated this? Was it, something new they did, or are they just being harassed? Like is there no, reason?
Gotcha.
Did they have a conflict with them?
Sure. I'm going to say that these followers, again, they're basically, oh god, I don't know what to call it. It's not like church or anything. They don't have one. Their meeting place is like on the Crow's Foot Southern Docks. Like,
Okay.
and basically they're trying to claim, they're not even like a gang, a crew, but they're still trying to claim turf, if you will, as like, hey, we worship Shanas right here on these docks, which the Gondoliers happen to, you know, they don't own it, but they own it, type of thing. So that's probably what precipitated this originally. Conflict between worship and a crew not being wanting to be pushed around by nobodies.
Okay.
I'll give you another question, or for that 5. That's a good one.
Who is the main person on the other side who's sort of leading this opposition?
Gotcha. It's you get the impression that it's a lower level person. His name is Joris.
Okay.
Doesn't go by anything else. Doesn't even have a real street name. It's just Joris. It's not just Joris. JJ. But yeah, he's not even like a lieutenant, but it seems like an up and comer who's trying to build a name by kind of pushing others around for the gang, if you will.
Okay.
Cool. Let's see. So I'll give you guys again. We'll get the standard up to 2 find informations. Fish or Junker. Do you guys have any ideas of anything else you'd want to find before we go engagement all over this place?
Well, I could hunt this Joris down.
Cool.
Follow them and see what they're doing.
Cool. Fish, would you be able to help with that? Assist if you went along? Like an extra set of eyes or any other skills?
Yeah, sure. I
Okay.
mean, I've got a background with the Gondoliers, so
Oh, very nice. Oh, that's really cool. That's
Yeah.
pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could do something if you want. Would you like to do something?
Can I when I look up Gondoliers in the book, there's a section, for each one of these factions called situation. And the very end of that says a sudden influx of ritually disfigured hollows dumped in the canals has sparked investigation by the Gondoliers. The spirit wardens are potentially ignoring the situation. Is this just a suggestion in the book of something that we might consider?
I mean, if you can find that useful to this.
It's an interesting idea that could prompt the Gondoliers, or at least this guy, to want to harass a cult that worships a deity involved with tides and flying.
Well, you're kind of putting the cart in front of the horse. You're trying to do this. This is all about finding information. You haven't right now. You're telling me you found the information, which is not the case.
Okay.
So that's something to definitely kind of remember during roleplay. That'd be cool if you want to use it during roleplay, like with them, when the time comes, if the time comes. That's cool. But basically, it's just to find out information.
Okay.
So basically,
I guess that sort of answers my question in a way too. That just because this is in the book doesn't mean that this is actually a specific thing that
it can be. I have no problem with it.
Sure.
So, so what Junker is asking you is, would you want to kind of lead the charge of finding the information, since you kind of know people? You could consort or sway or something them and lead the charge as opposed to just assisting. So did you want to do that, or would you prefer to assist Junker in what she's doing? Or what?
I think in this case, it might be worthwhile for Fish to talk to. Again, here's, I guess, sort of like we just did here. Stop me if I'm making too much of a story about this. But Fish spent time working with a gondolier, not in the sense of joining the Gondoliers,
Mhm.
but but there's a contact who was probably something of a father figure, but not necessarily a great father. And Fish might want to talk to this person and see what this person knows about what might be going on here.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that's so you're trying to just talk it over with them.
Yeah.
So that sounds like a consort. You can tell me if you're thinking of a different skill being used here.
Let me look at my thing here. Consort, which is connections from your heritage. Yeah. Okay. That sounds right.
Okay. So right now you have 0 dice in consort, but if Junker can help you out, that'll give you a die to use. So,
Uh, sure.
yeah. So how would Junker assist? How would you say Junker assists in that?
Oh,
she
you're
could-
talking to Jim. Yeah.
She could find the person he needs to talk to.
Cool. Yeah, you're basically
that
hunting
really
the person
makes
down.
sense, because this would be something where, yeah, I can see where Fish hasn't actually interacted with this person for several years, or at least a few years.
Gotcha. All right. So go ahead and make a consort roll.
Okay.
And we're gonna again. This isn't so much as battling the person down as how much do they know. So roll consort as a fortune roll with I think you have to do like +1 die, and then that'll give you 1 die basically.
Okay. So what was the role? What's the position? Is it?
No, again you're gonna call it a fortune roll. So select that fortune option.
Oh, right. Okay. Yep.
And then basically position and whatnot doesn't matter, but you're going to give yourself 1 extra die, so 1 bonus die,
All right.
which is basically Junker's assist to you.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, cool. All right, so you got a 3, so you don't learn much. I'm going to say, when the person sees you, what's their name, out of curiosity?
Excuse me?
What's this person's name that you're contacting?
Oh.
I'll make one up for you if it's too hard. Kevin. His name is Kevin. Jasko. His name's Jasko. Fine. Jasko works fine with me. Cool. All right, so Jasko sees you coming. He kind of is a little off taken by the fact that, he, is constantly on the move all day. So just the fact that you were able to locate him is kind of impressive. He's, a professional water taxi. He's the Uber of the Duskfall world, basically. So yeah, basically you're kind of cruising the canals and whatnot, and Junker spots him from your description, your very rough description, and when you approach him again, he's just kind of shocked that looks like you were specifically looking for him, and he's like, you're causing troubles again, and he kind of gives you that scowl, and basically what are you trying to find out specifically? What's your goal here?
I've heard. I'm being a little bit indirect. I'm saying I've heard there's. What's the name of the guy who's the head of this? The low-level guy who's
Joris.
doing. Say it again.
Joris.
Joris. Yeah, I've heard there's this guy Joris is harassing some some of the religious folk. A small band of religious folk in Crowsfoot. It just seems not in keeping with the ethos of the Gondoliers. Can you have any idea what's going on?
He kind of raises an eyebrow at your 5 silver word ethos. Probably will have to look that up later, but he's going to ignore it for now. And he's like, are you talking about those water worshippers?
Water worshippers is a pretty general term. Talking about some potential water worshippers.
He's like, Jorce is just looking to make a name. It's him and a couple other guys have the potential to move up the ladder, and his name's on there. Just trying to find somebody weak enough to push around, but tough enough to help make his mark. And that's all I'm going to tell you. He kind of gives you that look, like, you kind of got the bonus round by not getting your ass kicked and dunked in the water already.
Yeah,
but he pushes himself off to his next
knows
fare.
that dunking fish in the water is not actually a punishment.
Yeah, don't throw in the briar patch, Briar Bear. Yep. All right. Cool. All right. So you have some information. You have locations. Generally speaking. What? So let's look toward engagement right away. Let's see here.
What type of engagement do we want?
Yeah, exactly. What type of engagement? Let's see here.
I mean, we've done both our, we've filled our quota of both, ferocious and serene.
Quite.
And I think we've done a deception too, or a heist.
Why don't we try a social? We just go down there and lay down the law and say, like, yeah, why don't you back off?
Or, these people aren't doing you any harm, type thing.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, so let's see here.
If we're going to do that, we want to offer this guy a way of backing out and saving face, or at least getting something of what he wants to get out of it without continuing to harass these people.
Great. It sounds like a negotiation, potentially.
I was going to say that'd be part of the score, though, right? Because if we have a social, we have to detail the social connection we want to exploit on it.
Great.
Oh, okay.
So for each of the engagement types, there's like the hook, the like, what is our in there? Are you wanted by them, Fish? Since you were involved with the Gondoliers in the past, is there bad blood there? Or are you just no longer a, member?
I think, I don't think it's, I don't have a,
the reason I ask is you could be the social connection.
But I don't think bad blood. I mean, it's a large group of people. I'm sure there's bad blood with some people, but there's not like a general. The Gondoliers don't despise fish. I think part of what makes it complicated is that they have this whole history of dealing with the bodies that were dumped underwater. I'm assuming that it's also a handy place for Gondoliers to hide their potentially ill-gotten gains. And Fish would be an ideal person to deal with at least some of that stash, which makes them equally trusted and untrusted, depending on who you're talking to.
So are you saying you stole some of their stash?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, though, that that there may well be Gondoliers who suspect that or worry about that.
Well, we were told the Gondoliers were looking for you, so if we brought you to the Gondoliers, that could be the social connection.
Yeah, they might, like, for instance, there could be a negotiation point where they might want your services in exchange for, leaving that. And I just want to make sure that's okay before we, before we, I don't want to, force your, character to do something he's against.
Yeah.
No, we would never do that.
I think it would be okay in the sense of okay complicated.
Okay. I mean, I as a person don't want to force you. My
Yeah.
my character, of course, sees you as an asset, but
Well, I think we should go with the character rather than
Okay.
the person within the game.
All right.
Always tricky, navigating consent and stuff, and forcing people's players to, characters to do something they might not want to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay,
Fair.
so I think that could be the social connection. We know they're looking for him. We're not sure why, but he doesn't seem to indicate, or they don't seem to indicate that there's any sort of thing that they've done wrong. So
Sure.
Cool.
it could be our
All
opening.
right.
Our opening ploy.
So, and again, if I'm starting to get into over planning this, let me know. But so it sounds like you're proposing maybe an alternate way. It's not so much going to the people who are doing the harassing, but going to the people who would control the people doing the harassing and saying,
Yeah,
Fish, we can swap some of Fish's services for you telling these people
Right.
back off.
I mean, I think that does, get to the over planning. I think we roll the engagement roll. We just know
Yeah.
that you're involved in this as the
Okay.
social connection.
Yeah.
And then based on the engagement roll, if it goes completely horrible, maybe they want you dead and they want us all dead too. So
Okay. All right.
No
Good.
that's
pressure.
what the engagement roll's for.
Yeah. All right.
Cool. All right. So let's start with choosing load right away. So clear all your on your character sheet. Clear the load you used last time, any items and whatever, and let's figure out your loads, and then we'll figure out the engagement roll and get in it.
I'm going light because we're near water and I don't like drowning.
If you hover over items, there's a reset button appears.
Oh,
there
is
you go.
there? That's
Oh,
nice.
cool.
That's more handy than what I just did.
I gotta say, Cassie, you
You know the sheet.
do you know the sheet? I can't.
Where's the reset button?
If you hover over the word items or that dark gray bar,
Ooh,
that
cool.
will appear on the right.
Yeah. All right. Nice.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool. Thank you, Cassie. All right. So okay, light load for Peacock. How about for Junker?
I'll take normal.
Okay. How about Doctor? What's your load?
Oh, light.
Light, excellent. Breaker. No pressure. You can't. If you're speaking, I can't hear you.
I'll take normal. We can position ourselves as like the guards or backup of the situation.
Nice. All right, cool. All right, so we have load. We have we're doing a social approach. Fish is the social connection. And all right, so let's figure out what the engagement roll is. All right. So you get 1 for luck. Let's see. So let's ask this. In this operation, is it particularly bold or daring? Would you
No.
I
I think if we were doing anything dangerous to them, that would be bold and daring because they're so well liked. Although I don't remember, we're not exactly particularly fond of them, or we're not particularly fond of us.
I mean,
Don't we have some
they-
faction?
we are confronting them directly though, instead of like sneaking around or like
That's true. We
attacking
are
or
walking up to them and saying,
Yeah, we're straight up walking straight into them. So that could
They are
be
tier
be
3.
considered. Yeah, I could be considered bold. I think it might be.
Okay, I'll go too. So let's do 1. I don't think this is complex or contingent on many factors. Contingent on a couple factors. So no minus. Plan detail explosive vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest.
not that we know of.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna say yeah, nothing there. Do they are the target strongest against this approach or particular defense? I'm gonna say no also. So nothing there. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation?
None of mine. fish, would we consider your knowledge, to help that? I don't
Say
know
it
if
again.
the question is there do we have any contacts or anything that would, assist in this? And I was curious whether you either specifically had a contact still, like on your sheet, or if your knowledge would, help us in this.
Uh,
And the answer could be no.
I would say let's say complicated. No.
Okay, so I don't
I
think that would
mean,
help us
I was
necessarily.
involved with the gondola.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And I think this
but-
really does apply to your friends and contacts. It's like on your sheet too. So and the same with enemies or rivals. I don't think at least for the rivals portion of the show. I don't think any of that's really interfering. So any other elements we want to consider? Yeah, you are absolutely a lower tier, and that will have an effect here. So I'm gonna what do you call it? Take 1 die away from you. So that'll leave you back to
Okay.
1. Is there anything else that we want to use here that comes under other elements for pluses? I'm tempted to take away the last die only because the social connection is potentially a bad one. Or we know there's some kind of quasi bad blood, but it's not with. But on the other hand, it's not with Jorah specifically or anything, and that's who it's maybe who you're dealing with.
Okay.
So if you guys can think of any pluses, you're left with 1 die so far. And I can't think of anything else that really helps or harms you at this point. So let's go with 1 die.
Perfect.
Yeah, no problem. 50% chance of success. So who hasn't rolled an engagement roll yet?
Pretty sure I did.
think I did.
Let's see. Neo, I think you did the last one.
I have. I think everyone
I
has.
think I did.
Oh, interesting. Oh,
I'll roll one.
okay. Yeah, go for it. So,
Let's see. It's on the crew sheet.
Yep.
Crew mode, roll engagement. 1 whole dice.
1 whole dice.
1 whole dice. And I assume we're meeting them on the dock too, right?
Odds are
That would
pretty
be
decent.
the likely spot.
Come
Sorry,
on!
Scott.
Come on! Come
So sorry.
Alrighty.
Goddess is with us tonight.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, so 6. So that is you're in a controlled situation. And I'll remind you, it doesn't necessarily have to maintain controlled, but when you find yourself in the spot, it certainly sounds like it. You're certainly in that spot. So here, I'll set the scene for you. So you are on the docks, the same docks that are, in what's the word I'm looking for? That all the hubbub is over.
Yeah, on the south of Crow's Foot.
Yeah, on the south of Crow's Foot. And basically you're gonna have your people there, the worshippers, like a bunch that Peacock has talked to and kind of worked up into a fever. And it's strange. They've started to come out of the woodwork. So right now there's, I'm gonna say, like a dozen worshippers with you, from all walks of life. You have a blue coat probably there, an off-duty blue coat. You probably have a farmer from one of the radiant energy farms. You have, all all people from all walks of life. So I say about a
Any
dozen of them.
gondoliers?
No.
Any of them gondoliers?
No, there no gondoliers in this group. So
None of the worshippers.
Interesting.
none of the worshippers. So yeah, there's like a dozen. So you guys have some backup here. And that's probably what's stopping the gondoliers from really just pushing their side. There is the Joris there, the guy you now know as Joris. He's a younger guy. He's probably like all of 17, but you can tell, he's just, his entire life has been spent on a gondola doing the thing, and probably grew up within the gang. not unlike fish would have, almost, kind of like fish's trajectory without fish going the other direction. He kind of went all the way. And his feet are, he probably hasn't worn shoes in forever because you need kind of bare feet to steady yourself on the gondola to kind of really feel where it's going and get a good grip. His clothes are nicer than the standard gondolier. Showing a little bit of status at least. So he's there, again, he's puffing up his chest, and as you guys come on the scene. What is also working in your favor is the fact that it looks like there is an actual lieutenant of the gondoliers present.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna look his name up. Oh shoot! I suppose I can take a look real quick. Gondolier. They have any actual names for these guys? Might as well use what they're giving us. Let's see here. Ooh. Underwear. Let's see. Hold on. I'm just gonna try to see if I can really get to it real fast. Everything seems real fast, and I need to find the information. Factions. Here we are. That's just the base. Oh, here we go. The Gondoliers. Okay, cool. Looking for any names. Oh, here we go. NPCs. Let's say Griggs. Let's do Griggs. He's the chief whisperer of the Gondoliers.
Ooh.
So this guy holds some power here, but he is just a lieutenant. He's not top tier, but he's next to it. And Griggs looks he's older. His clothes are a bit tattered. He has a nice big burly beard that he's never really bothered to trim. Same with his hair. It seems like he is such a whisperer that he's more concerned with the spirit realm than the physical realm, and gives two shits about his appearance, and which only helps to bolster his quasi terrifying appearance. He looks straight through you and into your soul type of thing. So he's there, and you can he's keeping Joris in check at the moment. So what did you guys open up with? Like, what's your opening statement to these guys? And that's kind of where this scene is set. You basically come in, and I'm assuming you said something to the effect of, these are fellow worshippers. What can we do to make this right? Or
yeah, what can we do to make this right? We have, between us, we have a variety of skills, that might be able to, assist you in things that, happen off the water.
We have come here to kick ass and chew bubblegum.
all
out of bubblegum. That's if we
Luckily,
had done assault.
I thought maybe we were all out of ass to kick.
yeah, you're gross fit. You can buy anything. You get as much bubblegum as you want. Really, you're fine.
Like, tell us how we can make this how we can both live in peace.
Cool. And you're I mean, to look at you, you're an eclectic group. You got Peacock, which is a peacock, very very true to his street name. You have Junker.
He looks very much like his picture. It looks like he's wearing 8 different sets of clothes on at the same time.
Nice.
Just various styles and colors and patterns and.
Gotcha. Yeah, you have Junker, who probably looks a bit Severosi around the edges even now. You see, Fish. I envision Fish as kind of a slimmer, littler person, but known to them. You can correct me if I'm incorrect about how I'm visualizing Fish. That's just how I've had them in my head.
I kind of see him as see that Fish is a kind of looking a lot like Mouse from the Matrix.
Gotcha. Cool. It's a good visual. And then we have Breaker, who is a breaker, quite obviously. And like say you, Junker and Breaker are normal, so they look like they got some place to be to do bad things.
Yeah, I think we'll probably stand a little bit back and just kind of stand there and look intimidating.
Yeah. You aim to misbehave. So, so you guys are basically stated position. And that's kind of where we break in. So the scene we see is Joris. He is just kind of lurching forward, trying to kind of get in all your faces at the same time. And even as he's doing that, he's screaming, "You're on our turf. You're taking our places. This is what we use. Your filthy demon magic doesn't have any place here." And meanwhile, you see Griggs, and anybody. It doesn't even take like a study type of situation here. It's quite obvious. He sees an upstart trying to kind of talk the talk. And you can see it's almost this bored look on his face, like, another one just trying to make a mark and doing it badly. So yeah, but you can also see that, he's full on gondolier. He's a lieutenant. There is a vested interest in keeping what's theirs. Just like if you give way of anything, suddenly people, instead of taking an inch, will try to take a mile. So there's always also that. And Griggs kind of gestures to another gondolier who steps forward, just another no-name NPC, really. Puts a hand on Joris's shoulder and kind of, turns him around and kind of points to Griggs and how Griggs is acting. And Joris figures it's the better part of valor to back off, at least for the moment. He kind of said his piece. So Griggs kind of steps forward. He kind of looks through all of you guys. The gondoliers kind of gather behind him, both figuratively and literally, because it's really not what Joris says; it's what Griggs says that really carries the weight here. Again, this is information that any casual observer with the least bit of perception would notice. And he kind of looks all you guys over, and he's like, "Bunch of skills, eh? Bunch of skills. You're gonna offer us skills for land, skills for a place to land, skills for a place to do business, skills
for a place to worship."
And it's gonna cost us a little money. This is a nice little pickup spot. And we got you. When he points to Fish, and he's like, "Yeah,
I heard you might be looking for his skills.
oh, we're
Sorry,
looking
their
for him for a
skills.
whole bunch of reasons, but we won't go into that now. Not in front of you all." And he kind of steps up to Fish, and he's like, "What skills you got to offer that you couldn't offer us if you just become a gondolier? We could have used you, We could have used you. You're around with this lot, though. Tell me what you got."
I know the bottom of the canals better than anybody.
Do you know? And you kind of see him smirk, and he looks back at his boys. He's like, "So I know a couple of you want to make sure he sees the bottom of those canals forever, huh? But we haven't gotten there yet. We haven't gotten to that point, Fish." He's like, "So what are you offering? Finding stuff, guiding the boats. What you got? What you got that's going to make our job easier? Make us make up for the money we're going to lose for this spot. What you got?"
I can find some of the money you've lost overboard.
Ooh, interesting. So, all right, let's do a roll. Let's have some fun. Not that we're not having fun. Role playing is awesome. I'm glad we're getting to some good stuff, I think. So, let's bring up Dr. Hurley. And again, I want to see you guys role play. I also want to have the mechanics dip in when necessary, and this is one of those times. So I hate to break the motion because you guys, I can see, I want to give everybody like some spotlight here to do their thing. So why don't you make a roll? What action are you going to use? I would tell you what I'm thinking, but I want you to choose the action that you're using, you believe you're using for this.
Okay, let's see.
That's kind of your part of the show. You can do whatever you want as long as you're willing, whatever action you like, as long as you're willing to do that action. So basically tell me how you're going to be doing this.
Mm.
Because right now it looks like I can say at least it looks like you're trying to sway. You're trying to convince them of another viewpoint. However, there's many ways to do that. You know, using other actions, and it's just a matter of you telling me how you're doing this. That's where your part comes in.
Yep.
And actually, as much as I hate to break the momentum, we're actually past our break. I'd like you to do this roll, and we'll take our 10 minutes.
Yeah, we can do that.
I don't know if it would. I guess it would. I'm kind of looking at finesse, but I think I'm sort of getting ahead of the game with why I'm looking at it.
You could
I can see fish either saying I'll find something right now, or fish just dives into the water, intending to come up with something that had been lost.
You could, here's a suggestion. You could step forward and just like really subtly like pick his pocket and then like show it to him to impress him.
But yeah, I mean, fish, what you're describing, the jumping straight in, that I can see finesse being applicable here. You're using, that's a possibility for that. If you want to do that, I would consider that worthy of a finesse roll if that's what you want to do.
Okay. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So
I would like to provide an assist by, selling his action as he does it.
Oh, sure. Like how?
Well, I mean, selling it like, like, see, he's, he's willing, right to go to work for you, and, like just kind of hyping him up.
Perfect.
Kind of while fish is underwater, you're
right
selling the action.
Yeah, basically just, just pushing it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, why don't you roll finesse with one bonus die? Did you want to push yourself or take a devil's bargain?
So devil's bargain. Where's that stat? Okay. Devil's bargain means that there's going to be some consequence.
Right. I'm going to give you an extra die at a cost of some sort.
Okay. Pushing myself
takes 2 stress.
Takes 2 stress. Either one gives me an extra die, right?
Correct, but you can only use one of them.
Right, but either one, but there's no difference in how many die rolls I get.
No.
Depending on which one.
That's correct. One just doesn't cost us.
I'm going to take Devil's Bargain just because.
Because it's interesting.
Yes.
So you do have the option to hear what the negative side is.
Yeah, you can take the
yeah. What's the negative side?
Okay, I'm gonna say that in doing so, you're gonna take 1 harm. You're basically, there's going to be an eel down there that takes a little bite out of you as you scoop along the bottom.
Okay. And 1 harm is this is harm here. Though it says 1, it says less effect, meaning something or other. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. So now you could technically resist it, but it would cost potentially more stress to resist than actually just pushing yourself. So
I'll just I'll do the Devil's Bargain, not resist.
All right.
Now,
I'm gonna
I don't think you can resist Devil's Bargain. They just happen.
Gotcha. Well, that's fair enough. Oops. I was
Yeah,
gonna.
you get to know what. That's why you get to know what happens. That's why when it's offered,
Gotcha.
it's
Okay.
like you have to
Cool.
live with that, but you get an extra dice.
Cool. All right.
Okay.
So let's roll finesse with 2 extra dice, and I'm gonna call this risky standard.
Okay. Risky standard. 2 dice. Submit.
Nice. All right. You got a 5.
Okay.
So that's a partial success. So why don't we take our break and we'll discuss that when we get back.
All right.
Okay. Cool. Take a
Sure.
break. See you guys in 10 minutes.
Okay.
Sounds good. See you then.
Yes.
All right. We are back from our break. So when last we left our intrepid scoundrels, we just got a partial success on that roll. Really cool, actually. So yeah, so you do the dive fish, and you kind of maneuver around the bottom. I am hearing some reverb, so just check your stuff just to be sure in the background if you can. But yeah, you basically troll the bottom, and when you come up, you have a couple things in your hands. You have a couple silver coins, and you also have a ring. So the ring, as you kind of come out and you pull yourself out of the water, and you kind of push off the mud that's on it, the gook, and there's a lot of it down there. There's a reason why not a lot of people besides fish go trolling around the bottom of the canal. It's a skull. It's an embossed type skull, and Joris sees it as he kind of flash it his way over. Get his name,
Griggs.
Griggs. Thank you, Griggs' shoulder. It's like, Griggs, that's that ring you lost. It's like, I'll bet you didn't lose it. I'll bet he stole it from you. And Griggs kind of, you can see out of the corner of his eye, he's almost on board with that, but he's like, asked him to find something. He found it fair and square. And he kind of plucks the ring from your fingers, and also snags those coins. And he does something only someone who is versed in the whole gondolier thing would do, and he gives it a smell, and it's like, nah, it's been down there for a while. You see him put a little pinky ring going on there.
Mhm.
Goes around. Well, that's sure something. That's worth something. And he looks over to Breaker. He's like, what you got? What can you offer us? What's going to make up the money we're losing here? If you're talking, you're muted, by the way. There you go. Oop, and now you're muted again.
Am I muted?
Oh, now you're talking.
That
I
was just, Discord probably didn't hear me talking, so it said, "Oh, he's muted."
I gotcha. All right. As Griggs kind of looks to you for an answer, his eyes just burrow into your very soul.
What could I? How do I phrase this so I'm not trying to sway him? Is my
Or sway him.
or trying to sway him with my terrible sway. Command skirmish. Demonstrate that. Well, here's something. Maybe this might actually help. I'm gonna do a survey. How is this survey on him for his what's going on? How is he feeling about this current situation?
Gotcha.
His emotional state, that kind of stuff. See if I can get a read on him.
Okay. Study might be better, but a survey will do the trick. Let's see. So yeah, why don't you give that a night? Let's see. So, what's the question? So you're kind of getting a feel about it. So yeah, go ahead and let's roll and find out.
All right.
So what are you doing, by the way, to do so? Let's kind of do it to do it. So how are you?
Yeah.
How are you? What are you doing to get a feel for everything going on here? Him in particular.
I'm looking around. I'm also looking at him. I'm getting a feel for how his interactions, how he's been doing. So I am kind of looking him up and down.
Okay.
Some could classify it as sizing him up. Some people who are unknown of the true methods of surveying.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead and roll it.
What would be
It's
position?
I mean, you're surveying. I'm gonna say controlled standard. Okay. Well, it's controlled. So yeah. So I mean, surveying him and kind of the situation, you get a definite feeling that he would rather not cause trouble. He sees ripples happening, and he's basically looking for a reason not to have you all just wiped out or dealt with in any other way. He'd rather do business. He can see there's potential for a profit to be made.
Okay. How to sell myself without selling myself?
Yeah, or it doesn't have to be necessarily what you can offer, but what the situation can offer. What can worshippers be there to provide anything?
Hmm.
What makes this worthwhile to him?
Trying to think. As a talker, Adrian is not, but the actions he does perform wouldn't really go over well with the off-duty bluecoats just hanging out. This isn't really a situation calling for his normal talents.
Sure. So
Well,
how do you respond?
just gondoliers, according to the book, gondoliers' enemies are the red sashes and spirits. Is there any way of using that?
Actually, there
Good insight.
could be. Yeah. I'm good with a blade, good at fighting, and good at getting people to do what they deep down really should be doing. Someone gets uppity, someone wants to make a fuss. I can convince them that's a bad idea, or through words or through actions. I'm also no stranger to combat. I know you have your enemies. I can work to make them suffer.
You kind of see him. He gets this conspirational look on his face. Conspirational, yeah, close enough. Conspiratorial look on his face, and he kind of gets in close to you, and he's like, "I got these water worshippers that are causing some trouble on a dock."
Bastard.
And he kind of sidesteps over to Junker. He's like, "So tell me how we can make this right. How do we not lose money? How do we all walk away from this with all the blood present in our bodies remaining there? Huh? Huh, little lady?" He's been quite condescending if I didn't push it along there. No pressure. Actually, a bit of pressure. A lot of pressure, if you will, really.
Let me see. I think what I want to try to do is
Oh, dang. Ah, well, too late now. I just thought of a way I could have played that. Ah, well. I
You're
would have been in line with him.
You're good. Go ahead, John.
Let me see.
I said, do you have anything to offer him or a way of thinking about this that makes him a profit? Any skills you'd like to use to figure out what that could be or anything? It's up to you.
I was just trying to impress him. Let me see. I was thinking of taking out like a vial of ectoplasm and just trying to create like a really weird and just like spread it out and try to use like my tinkering to create like a really weird effect, like a firework type effect with the lightning, and just like try to impress him with it.
Okay, so it sounds like if you're actually using ectoplasm, I suppose you're technically tinkering at this point. I'd willing to go tinker. That makes some sense. Unless you want to call it sway or... I mean, the action you're doing sounds like tinkering. But you tell me what
Yeah.
action you're using.
Well, I would say that she was like doing the math on the spectrology, and she is. I want to. Is there any like electroplasm type lamps that are like powered off the city grid, like nearby?
Sure. I mean, you're relatively close to the docks. This is an area that should be well lighted, well lit.
I would like to use like just like a vial of electroplasm and like some tinkering tools
Okay.
to like try to draw out some of the electroplasm into like a big effect pattern above the docks
Interesting. Cool.
and just like make it like kind of like a flashy show of like her capabilities.
Okay. This is going to be interesting. I'm going to call this, if that's what you'd like to do, that's what you're doing, I'm going to call this desperate great effect for impressing people. So this could basically go very, very wrong or be very impressive.
All right. Does anybody want to like assist? What?
And how could they? How would someone assist you?
Well, with a tune, you can channel electricity.
Cool. Does someone assist like that?
You know what? I'll assist. With. I have a point in a tune.
Okay. So what does that look like when you're like putting your hand out like the force towards the ectoplasm vial or something?
Yeah. I could be it's like drawing the ectoplasm in and then expelling it back out.
Okay. Just remember you're assisting her. You're not she's doing
Yeah.
the thing.
I'm just
So kinda-
I'm a sideshow to the I'm a piece of the grander
You're channeling the
presentation.
ectoplasm, electro.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And I saw that you ticked off your fine tinkering tools. That's the reason, by the way, that I went from standard. I decided to go from standard to great effect for this kind of thing. So, sure. Let's do this. Let's get crazy.
Okay.
So, did you want to push yourself or a devil's bargain?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to push myself for that.
Okay. So take an extra dice for that, extra dice for the assist.
So
And
it's desperate great, you
Yep.
said.
desperate great.
And two.
Oh, Jesus. All right. 6. All right. So tick off an insight XP if you haven't already for your desperate roll.
Yes.
And I'll let you describe. It went very, very well. So what does this look like? And it could have literally fried like half the people here. So hence desperate.
Everyone take tier 3 harm. Oh
She
no.
takes out a like a toolbox, picks up a long metal rod with a kind of wiring on the end of it, and she in the other hand she has like a vial of electroplasm, and she just like throws up the electroplasm and like hits it with the rod and just like swings it around, and it like draws out some of the energy from the lights around it, and when the breaker channels, it like helps pull it in like in a whirlpool type shape, and it creates this big like sparkling like electric whirlpool shape like in the sky.
Cool. So yeah, the whole group watches it. It's like probably next to the, I forget what the name of the field is, on like the west, or Jesus Christ, the cardinal directions. I don't know, north technically. There's the electric light show of the people like the angels that fly on, like they glide between the ghost field projectors, the electric field projectors. So they probably haven't seen anything like this since that last show, and certainly not this close. Like literally, they could have probably reached up and touched some of the dissipating electroplasm. So you do hear the group, oh, you know, and even Griggs kind of, you see him actually rock back on his heels. He's like, you kind of see him touch his beard, and he's like, it's smoking ever so lightly as he kind of runs his fingers through it, like the very edges look like they got a little singed. He's like, yeah, you ask her for some value, she gives you a show. What can I say, ladies and gentlemen? He's like, you can see there's some there's a he tries to blow it off. There's a modicum of respect in his eyes. He's not sure he could have pulled that off, and he's a full-fledged whisperer who can, interact with the ghost field on a regular basis. So he kind of he doesn't even step over to Peacock, but his head like turns like, oh, he's like, and what you got for me, fat boy?
Like this is a sign of prosperity. As he's sort of gesturing to himself, like,
Yes, it's not like I'm bald. It's just a power supply for a love machine.
Witness me.
yeah, witness me. I'm the one if you need diplomacy or situations resolved. I'm the deal maker of our group. And that goes for the living or the dead.
You kind of,
While I don't have perhaps your, august powers of, control of the ghosts, I have a knack for being able to talk with even the unruly ones.
kind of see him ponder that. Like, interesting. Kind of taps his toe, turns back to his crew. August, been trying to work that into a sentence myself for weeks, and he stole it from me. See, like, the little, the kind of the laughter from the peanut gallery at this point. Yeah. So actually, you know what? So are you're obviously, I would say,
I'm trying to convince him of that. And I don't know if he needs, some sort of proof.
That's
That
a good
could
question.
be sway.
Yeah, I don't know if
trying to
it's,
convince with
sway,
logic.
but I'm not sure if he needs, some sort of,
Yeah.
reassurance
Yeah.
of.
He's like, Joris, come over here. And he comes up. He's like, he feels, you can see from the look in Joris's eye that he's hoping, please say kick his ass. Please say kick his ass. And he's like, I'll tell you what, fat boy. or well-to-do boy. He's like, give Joris here a reason. If he's good with it, I'm good with it. And with that, Griggs kind of turns around and kind of takes his spot with the rest of the Gondolier onlookers. And Joris is giving that look like, you have already lost. And this, I would like to point out, is a great time for a flashback.
Yeah, and I think this would be because I had learned about Joris previously. I think I want to have. I mean, he's a little rough around the edges, a little tough, never do well. He's probably run afoul of some spirit.
Oh,
Cassie?
I do have an idea. For like a flashback is maybe let's see. She went to her like colleagues that she used to go in the college with, and maybe was trying to get, and she got a little information from like the what are they called, spectrologists, like people that might be affiliated with the spirit wardens, or might they're usually hidden, but somebody that might work for them that she knew in college, and she was getting information on this Joris from them to try to turn that get like dirt on him, maybe.
That's possible. I don't. So I mean, that's an idea for flashback. I do want to give preference. I suppose you can technically both do flashbacks at this point, but
I mean,
I
I
want to
think
give preference to
we're sort of
Peacock.
dovetailing, or we're sort of going into the same direction, which is looking for, a spirit that, could be affecting Joris as leverage to use against him.
Gotcha.
So while I think this is a flashback, I think it's something that we could have both been involved in.
Sure. Yeah. So I mean, the flashback, it becomes a scene, so we can definitely say, Peacock gets an assist from Junker from like the right, the right
Junker, maybe introduces me to the person, and I'm trying to convince them to,
yeah,
give
she
them,
could.
perhaps some privileged information, on some of the haunts in the city.
Well, on her end, it would probably be more from like she went to like the Sparkcraft Engineering College.
Mm-hmm.
So, you would probably introduce you to one of the engineers that maybe the Gondoliers had stumbled on, maybe like a Sparkcraft invention that gone wrong, and it maybe is like influencing Joris or something.
I kind of don't see where you're going on that one. Again, this is yeah. So in theory,
I don't know what's going on either. I was just trying to like think about what was going on.
no, I think you're on the right course. So okay, so basically, and Peacock, tell me if I'm mishearing you. Your idea is basically you're looking for, you're basically looking for something, since you are a spirit talker.
Right.
You're looking for some kind of spirit world connection that can help you out here.
Exactly.
So Junker, if you want to assist with that, tell me how you're helping him channel spirits, or better communicate with them, or locate them, or that kind of thing, and that can be your assist.
Well, she does still have her ability to like use different chemicals and stuff to track down spirits and stuff like that.
Sure. Yeah, like maybe spread the ectoplasm and follow its course, type of thing, or like a compass, like where it's pulling towards, that type of thing, to help locate. I'm willing to call that an assist.
Okay.
All right. So, Peacock? What are you looking to do here? I can tell you what it sounds like
If
to me,
I'm not
but
dealing with a specific person, I probably would have been, attuning, since this is, obviously one of his, his quote unquote turf, um, to find a spirit that, is probably causing them issues,
Mhm.
Or causing Jorah specifically an issue.
right. And we got your ghost voice also for the note, just as a note.
And I think I will decide to push myself on this,
Okay.
and take the assist. So what would the position be? Actually, it's what, one stress for a flashback?
If it's something you could have basically you would have done just in passing at 0 for some kind of specific planning, I would call this a 1 stress.
Yeah. Okay.
This is nothing complex like you need 3 different schedules to come together. That
Right.
would be like a 2 or a 3. But
So
this is like
what would
1
you say
stress.
the position and effect is?
Let's call it risky. Let's call it risky standard.
Okay.
And I'm including your ghost voice as part of the potency there.
Okay. And the Junker dice. And then the push myself dice.
Yep. Ooh.
You could be lucky and we could roll all ones at some point.
Yeah, as you pointed out last session, it's equal chance to roll 3
Equal
ones
chance.
instead of 3 6s.
I didn't critical. It was just A6.
Yeah, A6. Yes. So I'm gonna say, you basically are as you're kind of you're looking for information on Joris from the spirit world, basically, and this is standard effect. I'm gonna say this you're able to basically find his father. You kind of call out to the spirit realm, and his father basically comes to you, and he's like, "You come calling the name Joris, do you?"
I do, for I seek those who mean him ill or cause him problems, or that he wants to reach out to.
Oh, would I had the strength to reach out to him. I'd hold his head under the water like he did mine.
Hmm.
And he kind of scowls. Tell Joris I miss him so. And you kind of see him, ectoplasm kind of fades into the wall behind him and disappears.
Ho ho.
So,
What do you do?
well, and you said, that fades. That's the end of that scene, right?
That's the end of that flashback. Yeah.
Okay.
You're back in the scene now.
I lean into Joris. Sort of, just motion him, forward just a little bit, and, lean in real close, so that, hopefully the distance, makes it less likely for anyone else to hear. I'm like, the funny thing happened when I was here at the docks the other night, and thinking of those who might feel some ill will towards you, Joris, who I could help negotiate a peace with. But I found a spirit that wasn't really willing to negotiate. Someone you know well.
He's
He
like, who
was upset.
Who might that be?
He was upset that his dear son held his head underwater for so long. So long.
You immediately see any color he had in his face drain out.
And it would be a shame if he was helped back to the surface to get his revenge. Or if, and I sort of look over his shoulder to Griggs, or if Greg Griggs knew that you had done something so vile. Maybe you need to leave these people alone and go your merry way.
Yeah, you see him like you can actually see his face. Each of you from your vantage points can see his face just shake, like with something combined rage and terror all in one. It doesn't his body doesn't even know which way to go anymore.
Think I'm trying to sway him?
Well, I'm gonna say that
if it's necessary.
This is not necessary at this time. Joris kind of gets a hold of himself. He's like, reaches a hand out to Fish, puts an arm around him, and turns back towards the Gondolier crew. He's like, any group that'll have Fish as a member. He might not have been one of us, but hey, Peter, Kyle, he repaired your gondola many times before for no cost, just for a few scraps of bread and a bit of meat. He kept it going. He saved you more money than anyone could say. Maybe he finds us something else in the way. If he's amongst the worshippers of these folk, then I say let him keep going. Let them worship as they will. And you know what? Nobody else will try to horn her in on these docks. And I bet they'd be willing to pass the word on to us if anything untoward happened around this area that affected us. Any ghosts they seen wandering around. Anyone who's trying to elbow in on our action. And he kind of turns towards the group. Do you think your folk can do that much?
I sort of look back. I'm like, of course we
Yeah.
can.
She'll nod. Joker on it.
And he turns back. See, it works out for all of us. I say, let them stay. Don't touch them. They'll be good for business in the long run. And I'm trusting Fish for now. And with that, a couple of the gondoliers break out some very, very young whiskey to the point where it will possibly leave you blind. We're not sure yet. That's to be discovered later. But they decide before they take off on their gondoliers, they're going to drink in gondolier. And they're going to drink with you guys. So they hand out some whiskeys. You can do that. Oh, hi. Oh, so delicious. But after that, they let you on their way. The worshippers thank you. They are just falling over themselves that this is not going to be a problem, because whereas some of these people could have defended themselves, some there's just no way. And now that they get to worship Shanas without these people touching them, and maybe even in a way getting protection from them roundabout, they're good with it. And you can be rest assured that will find its way up the chain, so to speak, to the various worshippers and that kind of thing in the area. Cool. So score settled.
Excellent.
Good job. Let's see. All right, so let's move on. I think we're going to actually freaking get a whole cycle in. Plus, we already did the other cycle. So I don't want to jinx ourselves, but let's see about doing downtime real fast. Or not real fast, but as fast as we need to. So payoff. I am going to say this is more of a 4-coin job. There was, at worst, these worshippers would have been forced to go elsewhere, but you preserve the reputation of the cults, and they get to stay where they are. And there's some bit of reputation coming here. So so each take 1 coin.
Okay.
For rep, let's see. So you got 2 by default. The target, it was a higher tier, so that's 3. And let's see here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this point, I think it might be possible that we might develop a new type of reputation because we've been doing like alternating between being extremely brutal and extremely diplomatic.
Fair. Let's see here.
Professional, perhaps?
Let's see here. Let me get your crew sheet out real quick.
Sure.
Okay, crew mode. So let's do. So I'm gonna give you guys 3 rep. So you're now 2 away from getting turf, and potentially going up a level, going up a tier potentially, I believe. So good job. Let's see here. So we got that heat. I have a trouble saying this is anything but smooth and quiet, really.
Yeah, I think we managed not to, anger anyone.
Yeah, my display might have been a little bit flashy, but
right. In the scheme of things, I'd be hard pressed to say that this was anything but smooth and quiet. There was a meeting that happened on docks, which, let's face it, is the least of which happens on the docks. So I'm going to say 0 heat. So good job on that. This was,
Perfect.
the heat. This is not a high profile up-connected target that we're about. Nobody died. I'm not concerned about the turf. Yeah, no killing was involved. You're not at war with them. Let's see here. Let's see. Entanglements. So right now you guys have 2 heat. So let's see here. Who wants to roll the die? 2 dice. 2 dice. Take the lower of the 2 for your entanglement.
I can do it if nobody else wants to. I think I did it last time.
Yeah, whoever wants to roll, go for it.
2 dice, or we roll 1 die and take the low.
No, 2 die, take the lowest. Because right now you have 0 wanted, so this is the equivalent of 0 dice.
Okay. So 2.
2. All right. So gang trouble or the usual suspects. Let's see. What is the usual suspects? Okay, blue coat, paper crew, 1 player volunteers. Race review. Be taken. All right. Okay, so let's do that one. So
Alternatively, I was thinking about it could be funny if one of our adepts got in trouble.
sure. Let's see let's see. So the usual suspects is the blue coats grab someone in the periphery of your crew. 1 player volunteers a friend or vice purveyor as the person most likely to be taken. Make a fortune roll to find out if they resist questioning. Or pay off the blue coats with 1 coin. So just for kicks, let's say it's one of the adepts. They're technically not your a vice purveyor or
like
friend.
gang trouble is. I think is that. Oh no, I thought that's I think I'm thinking of something else.
Okay. Well, yeah, let's do the usual stuff. So somebody is taken in and questioned. The question is, do they break?
Or do we pay them off?
Or do you pay them off? And the choice is yours. And actually, right now you have 4 coin in the vault, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you want to spend 1 to negate this, to basically kind of walk by, say, hey, this is small fishes here, let's let them go.
I would say we pay it.
I'd say so too.
Yeah, the other possibilities are heat or harm to that thing, and yeah. All right.
Yeah, I would say we pay it.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, you're down to 3 coin. And yeah, so the adept is a bit shaken. I forget which one it would be. Doesn't matter. actually, which what are the names again? Lorraine,
Christoph and Loretta, I think.
Christoph and Loretta. Yes. So let's say Loretta was taken. So she's basically probably running errands, like getting food, like like the things you guys don't have time to do. And gets nabbed on the way. Gets questioned. You guys get wind of it and float a coin their way. And it just so happens they're going off duty anyway. They really didn't want to spend another 4 hours beating the living crap out of a scholar. So spend a whole coin on hookers and blow, as the saying goes. So,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But this is probably should have determined like the strengths. Do we determine the strengths and flaws of our gang?
Oh yeah.
Like
I think you
gang
get that.
trouble.
Well,
I
I
was
mean
just
that it doesn't. I mean the strengths and flaws for this doesn't really matter because we just pay off the coin and that's that. But
yeah. Yeah, and this isn't
we
gang trouble. This is usual
yeah,
suspects.
this isn't getting trouble. Yeah, it's usual suspects.
So it's a
I was
different.
just wondering. I was just wondering if we did or not.
No, I don't think we did. So but we can do that
Yeah, do it. Let's save it for Discord.
another time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now we're speedily at downtime activities. So let's see here.
On reverse order.
Yeah, let's do reverse. So what do we start with Peacock last time? I forget already.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start with Breaker. What are you looking at?
Let's see. I'll just keep doing. Oh wait, I'll do some. I'll get some vice. I'm at 4 stress. I was doing some assists.
Doing some vice. All
Doing
right.
some weird stuff.
Doing some weird stuff. Going all over the place with your astral protection. All right. Let's see here. All right, so clear 3.
Sounds good. There, 1 stress. How nice.
Very nice. All right. How about Doctor? What you looking to do?
Oh, I guess for the first one, I'll let's see, where am I at? I'll do the training again.
Okay. What do you want to train this time?
Prowess.
Prowess?
Same thing, prowess. Yeah.
Okay. Put a tick into prowess.
Yep.
Good job. All right. Cool. Junker.
Well, I was wanting to actually build my shot gloves.
Oh, cool. So let's craft. Nice.
Yes.
All right. Okay, give me a sec. Let's find that.
Yeah,
Crafting.
224. Yeah.
All right, to craft something. This is our first crafting, I think, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so to craft something, spend 1 downtime activity, make a tinker roll to determine the quality level of the item you produce. The base quality is equal to your crew's tier, modified by the result of the roll. Right. And let's see here. Do we figure out? I know that we talked about what the level of the shock gloves were going to be. Let's see if I can. I think we went with like a 3 on that. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
A tier 3 item.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So go ahead and let's see here. So you're tinkering. So 1d for each tinker. And let's see. You don't have a workshop. Let's see. So I think that might be it. But you can only spend coin to up the result.
Yes.
Let's see here.
And I think I can get my friend to help for another die.
Yeah, for any downtime. Yep. And yeah, that your friend Veldrin rather, I think would certainly help you with this. So yeah, let's so your tinker +1.
Okay, I'm probably going to spend 3 coins on it, but that's okay.
That's all right. Yeah, let's figure it out. 6?
6.
All right. So let's see. So 6 is tier level plus 1. So that's a 1. So you need to spend 2 coin if you want to craft this.
Actually, my artificer, I get +1 result level, so that counts as a critical.
Okay. So yeah, 2. So spend a coin.
Spend 1 coin.
Yep. Spend 1 coin and they're yours. You've crafted your shot gloves.
Yes.
Perfect. All right. Put it on your. Let's see. Actually, line for plan. I'm not sure where to put that, but let's make a note somewhere that you have such a thing.
I'll just put it on my items below the line.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Extra line item. Cool.
What a load would that be?
Good question. Let's see what else. Let's say 2 load, just because it's probably more than just gloves. It's like a electroplasm battery that hooks into them.
All right.
Cool. Let's see. All right, cool, awesome. Congratulations.
Yes.
Very nice. All right. That leads us to Peacock. What you doing for your first downtime activity?
His first downtime, he is going to train.
Okay.
Because he's like, if I can just get, a little bit better at working with these ghosts, I have a much better chance of achieving my projects.
Awesome. That'll max out your resolve and give you a
Yep.
dot.
So I'm going to train a tune-up.
Perfect. Awesome. You're closer to being one with the ghost field. Very cool. Yeah, this is it's interesting. I like how your character is going with you get a lot of options, ghost and otherwise. So that's very nice. Awesome. Cool. All right. Let's go back around again. So Neokri, what's your second?
Okay, second, it's
Breaker,
going
rather.
to be finishing up the interrogation. I can feel he's closing in.
Yeah.
He can feel, as is his namesake, he can feel this man is about to break. So he's going to bring Sawtooth in on to finish this up.
Yeah. Oh, with the Physiker. Damn, you're really getting down. Excellent. Let's see here. So let's go back to.
She's not. We go way back. This is not the first interrogation she's helped with. Military background, like similar to me.
Cool. So what will?
And as a Taikarosi, it's not like this isn't the first bit of bad business she's seen.
Cool. So what are we doing here? I'm command, I'm assuming, or did somebody want to
Yes.
listen else? All right. So roll your command +1 for Sawtooth's assist.
All right. So fortune roll. And one bonus dice.
6. All right. So long-term project. 6 takes you 3 segments, which completes it.
Perfect.
Finished. All right. So what was the original goal?
Goal was to learn about how they acquired the stone and how they acquire the stone. Do they have any backers? Where they keep, or do they have a hideout or a place where they're keeping loot that they've been taking from that they were shaking people down for?
Gotcha. I'm gonna say so. Basically, yeah, so the person just cracks. They can't take anymore. This is like something from the hostel. We're talking, torture porn here. It's not looking pretty. This person will never recover, and in the back of their heads, they know it. They just want the pain not to continue at this point, and they spill. It's like he just breaks down completely. He's like, it was Griggs. Griggs gave it to me. Griggs, he's a cousin. Oh my god. I don't know what else I have. I don't know what else I have. But he's gonna kill me now. Just kill me. Just kill me, please. The Gondoliers. They hold all the cards, all the everything. He's just starting to. It's just becoming incomprehensible at this point.
Well,
But
that's why Sawtooth's here to administer some pain relief, some calm down drugs.
so so basically the person breaks, and all they know is that Griggs was their supplier. Doesn't know if they have more. Doesn't know where they keep anything because they were literally like level 0 punks. Barely. They were barely a crew by the time you guys got to them. But it was like, again, it sounds like it was a family thing. Like, oh, here's a little trinket I found that's not worth anything to me. Type of dealio.
Okay.
So
Oh,
Griggs.
wow.
And I believe in the beginning they did kind of indicate the Gondoliers were the source of this matter of who specifically and why is now answered. And now you have a good even in with the guy. In fact, while we're here and we have just a second, I'm going to be magnanimous, and I'm gonna put you back to neutral with the Gondoliers. Once I can freaking find them. Oh, here we go. Okay. All right. You are now at 0 with the Gondoliers. You were at -1. Things were rocky.
Nice.
But basically, you've shown that you're valuable, that you can reason, that you're not trying to be a threat, and I think that counts for quite a bit with the whole faction game here. So that counts for something. So yeah. So now you're on kind of basic ground with the Gondoliers, and the guy who your guy knew, basically, or is related to, etc., etc. So out of curiosity, what happens to this dude? What do you do with him once he's broken?
Too much of a. I'll leave him there. He'll leave him there. He'll have Sawtooth work on patching him up while he's thinking. To keep options open. He's probably going to take that to the group. That's going to be a group decision. Something of this magnitude.
Okay, cool. Right. So we'll leave that for later. We're actually going to have time for free play after this. Holy balls. So, okay, cool. So, Fish, what's your second downtime?
First, I have a question.
Sure, absolutely.
About the harm. There's a healing button? Is that
yes? You can spend a downtime to recover, recover is the correct term. So let's see. So basically, you have to find a healer. Either like a friend of the group. Probably a friend of the group. We actually Sawtooth is here. He's technically a physiker. If Breaker is willing to share his friend with you, we can call that it. That's up to Breaker, though.
I'm willing to. That'll be fine.
Okay. So basically, so when you recover, you seek treatment to heal your harm. You might visit a physiker who can stitch your wounds, etc., or a witch who uses healing charms. Same idea. So you won't go into that. Recovery is a long-term project. Your healer rolls, and for this, I would give 1 die. They're basically a tier above you, and then that'll fill in clock pieces of pie in the clock, basically. And basically, yeah. So I'd have you roll like just a fortune roll with 1 die, and see how many segments it fills in.
Oh, I see. There's this healing clock.
Yep, it's just another clock, just like the others. This is for all intents and purposes, this is a long-term project.
All right. The other part of the question is, what is the effect of this level 1?
So lesser effect. So we have, when you make a roll, you have your position and effect. So basically, if I was going to give you risky standard, you and this harm that you're experiencing would affect it, you now get risky limited instead of standard. It breaks you down one effect level. If the wound would in some way affect this thing.
Sure.
So
Okay. All right. Well, so I'll do the healing. Do a healing roll, right?
okay, yep. So you'll use one of your downtimes to recover. So go ahead and hit that healing button wherever the hell that is.
Okay.
I lose
Number
all
of
these buttons.
dice.
Number of dice is 1.
1. Okay. And submit.
Okay, so 1. So you're going to fill in 1 segment
Okay.
on that clock, and you can use your second action or more if you're willing to spend coin to continue healing or do something else. Actually, this is your second. I'm sorry. So you can spend a coin to do it again if you want. If you're willing to part with the coin.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
So
Right
I
now you're maxed out anyway again, so you might as well. Again, what I want to impress on you guys is this is not a game of whereas you can put into stash, of course, this is generally not a game of amassing wealth. This is like you get money and you spend it. There's all kinds of things to spend it on to get ahead in the world. So it's just fine. It's fine to go into stash, and it will, as you fill up a level of stash, become a more mechanical effect. But generally speaking, this game is all about you get the money, you spend it. You get the money, you spend it. You get the money, you spend it, and never-ending cycle. So just want to put that out there as kind of the.
So should I? Does it matter whether I take the coin out of coins or out of the stash?
Yes, it does. So you want to take it out of your coins.
Okay.
For if you're taking out of something you've already put in a stash, you get it as a one payback for 2 you take out of stash. So basically, stash, you're kind of stashing it to turn it liquid again. You lose half of it, of whatever you're taking. So yeah, take it out of take a coin away and make another recovery roll if you want.
Okay. Click the circle with the extra coin.
What's that? The same one you
that's
just.
it. I got it. All right. Now, so I removed a coin out of the heal.
Yep. Now make the heal recovery roll with 1 die.
What?
With 1 die, 1 dice.
Wait, you said a recovery roll? Is that?
Yeah, you said you want to make another healing roll, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So whatever button you just pressed to do the recovery, do that again with 1 die.
All right.
All right. Fill in another slice. You're halfway there.
Okay.
All right. Did you want to spend another coin?
Where am I at? Yeah, sure. I might as well use up the 1 so we can get back to this again, right?
Sure.
All right, I'll spend another coin.
Okay. Then you get another downtime action.
1 submit.
Unluckiest rolls ever. All right. So fill in another piece of that pie, and then we'll kind of leave it at that. The next session, you'll have the ability to potentially complete that. So fill in the third piece of pie.
All right. All
Cool.
right.
Right there. So you still have the harm, but you're no matter what happens in the next one, you're gonna fix it.
You're on your road to recovery.
Yeah.
You're absolutely on the road to recovery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Remember that if you get hit, if you take another level of harm in the next mission, you clear your healing clock. So my
What was that?
Avoid getting hit.
As if I get hit. We're good. We're good. All right. Junker.
oh, let me see. I think she's gonna start doing a long-term project to study the artifacts we found.
Oh, that's cool. All right. That was a good one. So, all right. Let's say, I'm gonna say a 6. Let's go 6 to basically get some lore on this stuff. Let's make you a 6 piece clock. Study artifacts. Cool. All right, and you can definitely use one of the adepts as a helper on this.
Yeah, and I just get 2. I'll use my analyst to put 2 into it immediately.
Cool. Now, did you already spend those technically finishing the study on the gloves, or is that was last time, I suppose, right?
Last downtime.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. All right, awesome. So let's make a quick roll. And I'm assuming, yeah, you're tinkering, or are you actually? I suppose, are you studying? What are you doing?
Study. Well, I mean, if you let me tinker with them, sure.
Well, you tell me. You tell me what you're doing to them.
She'll tinker with them. That's what
Okay.
you want to do.
In what sense? Like, what is you have to tinker? You got to tinker. So what are you
Well,
gonna?
she'll just like test out like how they work and do a lot of experiments with how they work.
Cool. A little ectoplasm around there somewhere, shape or form.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Go ahead and roll tinker plus 1 die for the adept. That will help on the study part of the show. All right. 5. So 2 segments. Let's see. When you craft, yeah. So it's not crafting. So yeah, 2 segments in addition to what you just got. So already you're well on the way. So good job. Did you want to spend an extra coin to try to finish it off?
Sure. I'll give me just another downtime action and do it again.
Sure.
Because that.
Sounds good. All right, same thing. No pressure. 6. All right. You finished the clock. That was a quick downtime action. But I thought for it's only 6. I mean, you're literally have the resources you need to find this at your fingertips. So this is not a huge research. So okay, so we're definitely going to call that complete. What you're going to find out is there are 2 more pieces to this artifact puzzle. And the great thing about them is if you can complete this puzzle, if you can put them all together, if you can get them all in the same place and combine them, Shinas can, at least for a while, breach into this world.
She did do some experiments. Do I get any more like the properties of the actual thing?
I mean, not really, in the sense that, I mean, you basically are able to figure out the lore from this. You basically between the study of the adept and your tinkering as to, how things might fit together, etc., etc. Between the 2 of those factors, both of you basically you can put it together. And this is what you figure out is basically it's an artifact of your goddess. It needs 2 items to complete. You can kind of your tinkering tests basically see how, like I said, like when the other 2 pieces they're close, they kind of have a magnetism toward each other, and you can see there's 2 kind of poles of pole that are missing from this equation here.
All right.
And the lore part from the adept is basically, yes, this could potentially bring Shinas into your world.
Well, I will certainly relay that to the rest of the group.
Nice. Cool. All right. Let's see here. So that leaves Peacock.
Yeah, so I'm probably doing extra, but the first thing I want to do is use my newly increased skills to finish finding this cult spirit that I'm sure is out there. Former Shinas priest, I assume, or priestess.
Yeah, definitely higher up in the hierarchy, certainly.
Right. and a possible great source of lore and maybe greater connection to Shanaz.
Perfect. All right. Yeah. So I'm assuming, how are you going to go about this? What's your action you're taking? A tuning, you said, I think?
Yeah, definitely a tuning. I'll probably do this, in the water at, high tide or low tide, probably low tide. Maybe more things are exposed at that time.
Okay. Are you going to use the other adept as a assist?
And I am going to use the adept. And have them, sort of back me up with, the appropriate chance.
Sure, absolutely. Works for me. Okay, go ahead and make a roll with the +1 for the adept, and we'll see where we're at. 3. That gives you 1 segment.
I'll spend a coin to finish that.
All right, that's pretty much an automatic.
Maybe I use some rare materials, and as and they were consumed as they were spread in the water to help attract the spirit.
Yeah, or the jewel or something or whatever used is sucked out under within some kind of riptide and gone. Donation, if you will. Yeah. Cool. Good job. You've completed your pie. There's a lot of pie completion this session.
Yeah, we're a few sessions in, so it's about the time for projects to, I think, probably wrap.
Excellent.
So what do I find out with that?
So, you're gonna find out. Yeah. So there is a wandering spirit of the cult. We're gonna say, let's see here, and this is what kind of makes it interesting. Is it's in, I believe, let's call it White Crown. This is a more well-to-do area over here, or a Chia.
Okay.
It's known that there is a repeater spirit out there that every now and then kind of comes out of her cycle if approached in the right way. Many times that anyone approaching the spirit gets attacked. It doesn't end well. But the adept is confident that if you show the right deference for Shanaz and show yourself as a worshiper, that you could break her out and potentially transition her to a different state of spirithood, basically out of her little cycle of life and like the last thing she remembers type of thing.
Okay.
And what's her name? Why don't you name her?
Let's go with Ava.
Ava. All right, Ava it is. So Ava was again kind of like your patron, a well-to-do woman, lived and died in White Crown, and I'll say that she was actually the reason she's like a spirit and wasn't found, etc. She was probably murdered. The word has it by like a rival cult, and they basically followed her movements. And one night on her way home from some party or worship or whatever, that's when it happened. Boom.
Okay.
And that's why she's a repeater at the moment. But
okay. So
Yeah,
probably next session I'll start a new clock to try and make contact.
I'd be willing to even do like just a free play type of thing.
Add more to it. If she was murdered by a rival cult, my rival is Malista, a priestess.
Possibly. This would have been probably many years ago though, maybe like a century ago.
I mean, I think overall this stuff has been a little bit taxing with this mission, though. I don't want to I don't think I want to go over there quite yet, but maybe we'll free play that at another point.
Sure.
I was going to spend the last coin to try and relieve stress.
Sure. Yeah, go for it.
And again, coming into a little coin again, perhaps I can, spruce this up a little bit more. I'm almost looking like I could fit in, among these, white crown type people.
Right.
And let's just hope I don't indulge too much.
Okay. 3. Yep, you're good. We have 1 stress
I
left.
thought I just rolled 1.
Let's see.
Did you increase the stat? If you have 2 in all of your skills.
Oh, did it automatically go up?
Yeah.
So in that case, those were the dice in order. So
It will always go for
do
your
3.
lowest stat, your lowest attribute.
Okay.
But if you have no lowest attribute,
I might have clicked on the drop down accidentally.
Oh, gotcha. So let's see here.
But the 3, they are rolled in order. So at least
Gotcha.
looking at the pass lists.
Well,
Let's see.
Or I can roll again. Your choice.
No, that's fine. I'm just trying to. I'm all over the place with it. So let's
It
see.
should only be 1 die.
well, if you have, do you have 2 dots in
No.
each of your skills?
Oh no.
No.
Yeah. Okay. So
That's what I mean.
yeah, we're gonna
only been 1 die.
we're gonna call it the 3. So yeah, you'll clear it all but 1 of your stress. That's fine.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I was just trying to. Sorry, I was blanking on how.
I mean, if you have 1 dot and 2 different skills in each
yeah,
of the category.
you don't.
Great. So yeah, cool, awesome. All right, and as it turns out, we have now completed a cycle. Plus, we were short a half an hour for technical difficulties. Plus, we did downtime from the last session, and we had, I think, quite a full score as scores go.
I think we
So
could do the experience right quick so it's fresh.
sure, real quick. Again, I don't want to keep you guys past your time here. So let's, if you guys can go quick, we're not going to worry too much about explanations. Let's see here if I can just find the advancement portion of the show. Okay, here we are. Okay, let's start with Peacock since we're right there.
So no desperate actions. I definitely addressed challenge with influence on Joris there.
Cool. I would be willing to go 2 on that.
Okay. I don't think I expressed any really overt beliefs, drives, or heritage during this.
Okay.
To tell the truth, I think your vice is kind of expressing your background because you're like your noble background.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's
You don't want to that would be like an every time thing. We want to make it specific.
And I don't know if I would consider it struggle, but I definitely, put coin towards my trauma being obsessed with getting to, my Shanas stuff.
I'd be willing to go 1 on that.
1 worth.
Sure. Okay.
So
go
3 XP.
So 3 XP for Peacock.
Yep.
Junker. How about you? Good on the list.
I think that address the challenge with technical skill or mayhem. I'm just going to say 2 on that.
Okay.
I think that makes sense, and at least 1, maybe 2 for her like education background. She used a lot of her technical knowledge of how to like do all this weird stuff, and also for building her gloves and stuff.
Let's see here. I'm not sure if that's like a drive heritage background thing.
Well, it's her background's academic, and she's an engineer, so she built this like glove, and so I think she's expressing her background as an engineer.
Okay, that's fine. I'm willing to go with that. So what does that take us up to?
That's 4.
Okay, and did you struggle with the vice or trauma? I don't think so.
No.
Okay, mark your 4. Fish. How about yourself?
Well, okay. You addressed a challenge with stealth or evasion. I would I think I did that, especially the evasion part, because he asked me a question, and instead of answering it, I dove into the water to find to essentially answer, in a sense, the question that wasn't asked. So I guess that would be one experience.
I'm not sure I'd call that evasion generally, but I'm willing to give you one. We can do one there.
Okay.
All right. So how about I would also say, yeah, you definitely expressed your background, at least to a degree here. That your background was a very large part of what was happening here, and you were caught up in it. Not it was partially you and partially the story that kind of brought your background in. So I would say at least one there if you're willing to take that. It's up to you.
Oh yeah, I think the background is beliefs, drives, heritage, or backs.
Okay. So like one.
I mean, I
two.
would think that was actually bigger of the two.
Okay. So you want to go 2 on that?
Yeah, because well, it says, if it occurred multiple times, are we including the research part? Because first was going back and talking to,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Definitely. Yeah. Let's.
and then it was basically using my knowledge and understanding of the canals.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna call that 2. So a total of 3.
Yeah.
And did you
Yep.
struggle with your vice or traumas? I don't think so.
No.
Okay. So you have 3.
Okay, and I
And
can distribute those
as you wish.
as I wish. Okay, I'm gonna.
So playbooks or one of your 3 stats there. So
Yeah.
breaker. How about you?
Let's see. I'd say I would say 1 for violence coercion. I did kind of well.
You did kind of interrogate a dude till he begged for murder. So
Yes.
well, I think a 1 is fair, or even a 2, depending on you. It's your call. It's always your guys' call for XP.
I'm gonna go with the 2. I did use violence and coercion on that one,
Okay.
and that was the culmination of a long-term project.
All right. All right. So how about the beliefs, drives, heritage, background?
I'd say a 1 as part of the interrogation. That was like his military, and he was bringing in an old friend from his past as well to help him out.
Okay. So background type thing. Okay. So 3. And did you struggle with vice or trauma?
No.
No. All right. So 3 for you. All right. Yay! Yay!
And then one last thing.
Uh-oh.
Cult experience.
What experience?
Crew experience.
Oh, crew experience.
we'll be
Let's see. Crew advancement. So let's take a look. All right. Oh yeah, that's right. We're on the verge here. So all right. Crew XP trigger. What is our XP trigger for the
Advance the agenda of your deity or its precepts in action.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to call that maybe a 1. I mean, you definitely, it's not like you brought back artifacts or anything this time. It was like a 2-prong normally, but you guys definitely protected the flock as it will.
Right.
So let's say that's 1. We continue with challenge above your station. Yes, they were a higher tier group. They could have crushed you. So that's let's see here. So that's 2. Bolstered your reputation or develop a new one. I don't know.
Yeah, because we are starting to like do more. This is the second or third time we've been more like professional and kept it quiet.
Yeah, but conversely, you go back and forth. You guys also cracked some skulls not that long ago either. So
well, you can have 2 reputations. I mean,
but have you changed a reputation or developed anything? I don't know.
I'd say we developed a new one. We still have the old one. You can have like both.
Much like in us, we because I mean, hey, that's the thing. The best situation would be to become like have two reputations, a brutal and professional. Which reputation, which one you're gonna get? Oh, just
Gotcha.
like the deity.
Okay. All right. Sure.
So
Let's
I
go.
don't know if we've done enough. I'd say what a point for that. I don't know if we've done enough to establish it fully yet.
Gotcha. All right. Let's say 1. So that's a total of 3 right now. And express goals, drives, inner conflict, essential nature of the crew. The crew specifically. Yes, no.
Hmm.
I'm gonna say not specifically. I mean, you advanced
Yeah,
the
individual.
cult, but
Yeah,
you haven't
I
really.
think overall, but there wasn't a lot of interpersonal interaction on this one.
Yeah, it's okay. Let's call it 3, which means you guys advanced and have 1 to spare. So let's talk about that on Discord, and we'll
Yeah.
kind of bring it up next session and go from there. But yeah, you guys got a crew advancement. So basically, you're leveling up, get a new special ability or something. So yeah, let's talk about that in Discord, and we'll kind of bring it into the session next session, and go from there.
Okay.
Yes.
Sounds good.
All right, cool.
All right.
Sorry, so good job, guys. We brought it along. I think we didn't skimp on the role play or get the mechanics done, and we still made a whole cycle plus a bunch. So good job. I think we're getting this down. I think you guys are, again, it helps that you guys, it feels like you guys are understanding the rules more. I'm having to explain less and less, which I like a lot. Because as much as I love bringing you along, I want you to find your own way very, 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 very soon. So good job. You're coming along. So yeah, so next time we'll see how we do.
Yes.
So let's see, anything else? I got nothing else to share. So let's say goodbye to our
So
player.
we'll start out with free play next time. Is that-
Yep, free play, and then into the next score, and
All right.
go from there. So we definitely have some interesting free play things. So there's a lot of possibilities there. So we'll talk about that on Discord also. So yeah, let's say goodbye to our players. We have over here Steve,
Okay.
Cassie Mouse,
Hello.
and goodbye. We got Dr. Oculari. And there's Dr. Oculari's banner again. I always want to flash that up there. Very cool. And then we have Then we have Neocree over here.
Take care, everyone.
All right. So as usual, this is Scott of Scott's Case Files. If you're watching on Twitch, all the goodies are below. How to follow on Twitter, Discord, here on Twitch. You can always follow and be notified when we go online. But otherwise, we'll see you guys next week for the game, and I'll be on Sunday and Tuesday otherwise. So thank you to my players for being awesome as always, and I will see you guys later.
Yep.
Okay.
Take care.
Thanks.
Okay,
Okay.
guys.
Bye.